And when you're ready to go into a lovely relaxed state of being, just take a deep breath in, allow your eyes to close, and just allow that breath to exhale now. That's right. And in a moment I'm going to ask you to imagine certain things, but it doesn't matter if you find you can't imagine all the things I'm asking you to. You might even find your mind wandering quite a bit, so that my voice just fades into the background. But that doesn't matter either. The sound of my voice is going to continue to relax you, and it really doesn't matter if you don't hear a single word I say, because very soon now, you're going to be more relaxed than you've ever known. And now I want you to think about the top of your head. Many people don't realise that tension, it often starts in the little muscles of the scalp. So I want you to think about those little muscles and the skin of your scalp, and just allow them to let go and relax. And now all the muscles of your face, just let them go slack. Your forehead and your eyes and eyelids, cheeks, mouth and jaw muscles. And it's a wonderful feeling when you let your face totally relax, because you can actually feel the skin settling and smoothing out. And it might mean that your mouth opens slightly, but whatever's best to you, just let it happen. Unclenching your teeth and relaxing your tongue, because the more you physically relax, the more you can mentally relax. Thinking about your neck and shoulder muscles now. That's it. Allowing any tensions to just drain away. And into the tops of your arms, letting all those tensions just drift. As you think on down through your elbows, into your forearms, down to your wrists, and into your hands, right the way down to the very tips of your fingers and tips of your thumbs. Just letting all those muscles let go and relax. And now just think about your breathing, noticing that you're breathing even more steadily, even more slowly, as you relax more and more. So you can just let any tension in the chest area simply drain away. As you think on down to your stomach muscles, letting those muscles relax too. And that's it. Just think down into your back now. The long muscles, either side of the spine. Really just let those muscles relax. And your waist and your main thigh muscles. As you think on down to your knees, down through the shins and calves. Just allowing all those areas to relax and let go. As you think on down to your ankles, through your feet, into the very tips of your toes. All the muscles of your body just so beautifully relaxed and easy and so very lazy. And now you're so beautifully relaxed, nobody wanting anything, nobody expecting anything, and absolutely nothing whatsoever for you to do except to relax. And I want you just to let your mind and your imagination drift, feeling lazy, easy, and comfortable. And I want you to imagine that you're standing on the terrace of a lovely old house. A house like a stately home or country mansion, and you can feel the sun on your head and shoulders. Not too hot, just comfortable. And there's a gentle breeze playing against your skin. As you look around you, you notice an elegant marble flight of steps. 10 broad steps leading down into a beautiful sunken garden. A garden where you sense peace, well-being, and comfort. And so make it really vivid in your mind now. And in a moment, I'm going to count down from 10 to 0. As I count all the way down from 10 down to 0, I want you to imagine that each number is a step down on this beautiful staircase, a step down towards this beautiful garden. And with each step you take, it's another step down into deeper and even deeper levels of relaxation, so that by the time you get to 0, you'll be as deeply relaxed as you can ever imagine, while still being able to hear and respond to the sound of my voice. 10. Take the first step down now, relaxing and letting go. 9. Feeling more and more relaxed. No need to hurry. Plenty of time. 8. Moving down easily now. 7. Deeper and deeper. 6. Deeper still. Your breathing becoming slower and steadier. 5. Really relaxing now. Just let go. 4. Becoming calmer and calmer. 3. Calmer still now. 2. More and even more relaxed. 1. All the way down now to 0. And now you find yourself in this wonderful garden, and you can feel the softness, the newly cut grass beneath your feet, as the scent of masses upon masses of brightly coloured flowers seem to envelop you. And there's the gentle sound of birds singing, echoing faintly in the stillness of the air. It's almost a magical place, stretching into the distance as far as the eye can see, in all directions. Beautiful shrubs, tall, elegant trees, and an ornamental fountain which seems to feed into a gently trickling stream. And this fascinates you, and you wander to the edge of the stream and gently lower yourself down onto the soft grassy bank. And as you do so, you notice 2 trees growing by the bank of a river, a tall tree and a small tree. And that small young tree, it knew how to wave and dance in the breeze. It knew how to be very flexible, and when the wind blew, it enjoyed changing its perspective. It enjoyed just dancing and moving and dancing. It would see so many things when it changed its perspective. And that big tree was so inflexible. It used to envy the small tree, but it was a little bit scared of changing its perspective. It was a little bit nervous about it. So one day I asked the small tree, how do you do that? How do you change the way you see things? How do you change the way you enjoy things? And the little tree said, well, and you just let it happen. And so the next time when that wind blew and the big tree really wanted to let go, the little tree just said, you can do it. You can make those changes. No need to be afraid. Your roots go down deep in the ground, and you can have inner stability, even though you're moving with the winds of change, enjoying the dance, that inner dance of life. And you can allow that to happen all by itself. And that big tree was so happy, feeling its way into a new way of seeing things. And because it had a new way of seeing things, it also had a new way of recalling things, bringing back images, and it wanted to recall the dance. And that big tree also learned, as it got more flexible in its behaviour and its perceptions, that what it thought was the horizon was really only a limitation it was placing on itself. And as it danced and swayed and danced, it could see further and further, fields beyond towns. It could even see the sea in the distance, and it was so happy to have a new way of seeing things. So happy to know that it could recall in a new way pleasant images, pleasant memories. And so you just sit for a while, gazing into the cool, clear water, marvelling at the sense of tranquility that sweeps over you now, and listening to the faint sound of the fountain splashing into the pool that feeds this gentle stream. And your eyes begin to close, and you just go off into a deep and relaxing sleep. And as you sleep, you have a dream. And I want to tell you a story about a young man leaving home to make his fortune. He lived in India, and he was just a little apprehensive as he began his journey, but at the same time he was full of excitement and anticipation. All was going well for a while, until he came to his first obstacle, a wide though shallow river. He looked around for a bridge, but there wasn't one. Then he looked for a place where he could just ford the river, and further up the bank he found a crossing place. Not too difficult if one had courage and youth on one side. As he took a few steps into the cold, swiftly flowing water, he heard a voice behind him. Please take me across the river on your back. Now, there were several other young people there also on their journey, but the young man saw that the voice came from an old man. Carry me across. It will impress all your friends, and I'll be able to give you confidence when you need it. The young man stepped out once more, this time with the old man on his back. When they reached the other side, the old man said, "Do not put me down. You'll need me to give you confidence on your journey." The young man seemed easily convinced. Days passed into months, and months into years. He realized he had been duped by a false friend. He certainly no longer needed the old man to give him confidence. or help of any kind. At least, he didn't think he did. The trouble was that the old man had been there for so long, he no longer knew for sure. The burden became more and more difficult to bear, and the smell of the old man got worse too. The gentleman, as he now was, developed a deep desire to be rid of this impediment. He wanted his freedom, and there were times when he came to despair. And then as you lie there listening, I can imagine 3 thoughts that I had, and that you may have too. I need my body to live. I need my body to live in because I want to really live and enjoy life as much as I can. And I owe it to myself and my body to respect it. Smoking for my body is a poison. And I don't know how that young gentleman eventually managed it, but he had matured into a man of great strength, intelligence, and integrity. And I do know for certain that one day he did find a way, and day by day life got better. And of course there was from time to time that old man's voice. But that didn't matter. Not really. And you're going to be surprised at how easily something which you thought would be difficult, how easy it will turn out to be. And it will get easier and easier as each day goes by. And you'll take an awful lot of pride and pleasure in the ease with which you give up the smoking habit. And you'll be surprised, and so are your friends. Your friends, colleagues, even relatives who smoke may appear to be pleased for you. But don't be fooled. They are none too pleased at being reminded that they will have a habit which you have conquered. So don't be surprised if cigarette smoke accidentally blows in your direction, or a packet is thrust in your direction, because you will find these words just spring to your lips. Not for me, thanks. I don't smoke. Not for me, thanks. I don't smoke. Not for me, thank you. I don't smoke. You'll be surprised how easily these words just spring to your lips, almost as if you had nothing to do with it at all. Not for me, thank you. You'll just find yourself saying it without any effort at all. And you'll take a very special pride in now being able to say, not for me, thank you. I don't smoke. And you're going to take a lot of pleasure in the ease with which you go through your day without the need or wish for a cigarette. And you'll be pleased with the new sense of freedom and achievement that is yours now. Now that you've finally mastered that habit and removed that need from your life permanently. Because all that desire to smoke, every bit of it, is now being removed from your entire being, completely and permanently. And it's being replaced with a very powerful feeling of revulsion, so that from now on, should you ever think of putting a cigarette in your mouth ever again, you'll feel totally and utterly irresponsible, because you know smoking can cause early and often painful death. And you know that cigarettes contain many poisons that cause immense harm to your body, poisons that can result in early and often painful death. You know that each cigarette you smoke kills or damages yet more cells in your body. And because you know this, because you realise fully now that every single cigarette destroys ever-increasing number of cells within your body, you'll be so relieved just to stop the smoking habit for good. And you will simply stop the smoking habit for good. And you'll be so relieved that you no longer have to keep on taking these poisonous substances into yourself. And you are delighted and happy that you have beaten the smoking habit. Because your body is no longer being poisoned, because your body is no longer being damaged, you will have no anxiety about being a non-smoker. You are delighted, pleased to be a non-smoker, and because you are a non-smoker, you'll simply have no wish to smoke cigarettes or any other tobacco product. In fact, from this day on, you'll be so thankful that you have no need of them, because all that desire to smoke, every bit of it, is now being removed from your entire being completely and permanently. And it's being replaced with a very powerful feeling of revulsion, so that from now on, should you ever think of putting a cigarette in your mouth ever again, you will feel totally and utterly irresponsible, because you know smoking can cause early and often painful death. And not only will you feel better now you've quit the smoking habit, not only will you have peace of mind, you'll actually see a difference in yourself. In fact, you'll see what others will come to recognize as the new you radiating health and vitality. And you've begun a process, and I don't know exactly when it will be, but I do know that there will be a time when you look back and you'll feel so pleased with yourself for what you did back then. You'll be so pleased to discover just how much more energy you have, how much more you enjoy just being alive. And because you've quit this expensive smoking habit, you're going to have more money in your pocket too. In fact, your life is about to become more enjoyable in every single way. You'll have extra health, extra energy, extra vitality, extra money, and peace of mind. You're going to start enjoying these benefits immediately, and at the same time, you're going to gain a more relaxed viewpoint on life. In fact, all the things that used to upset you will now just calm and relax you. And the more they used to upset you, the more they will now calm and relax you. Because all that desire to smoke, every bit of it, is now being removed from your entire being completely and permanently. And it's being replaced with a very powerful feeling of revulsion, so that from now on, should you ever think of putting a cigarette in your mouth ever again, you'll feel totally and utterly irresponsible, because you know smoking can cause early and often painful death. And now you can relax and revel in that wonderful thought that you no longer need to smoke tobacco. You no longer need to do that. You are no longer dominated by a poisonous, suffocating, smelly, dangerous habit. A habit that was never a natural or even a necessary part of your life. You know, don't you, that it's a habit that belongs to the past. And so, now you can give yourself the permission to close the door and leave it in the past, so that you can live a happy and healthy life now, And you can now contemplate your future with optimism and enthusiasm as you pleasantly realise that you no longer associate smoking cigarettes with any feelings or emotion or activity, or with any situation or time or place. You are a non-smoker forever now. And that's it. And even now your sense of pride and self-worth is growing.